Sakurahertz. Hi guys, I'm Christy. I am a small business owner working full-time job with a toddler. So if you're new here, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. I am excited to share that I finally made my first custom keychains. Okay, so there's a lot to talk about here because I kind of went into this blindly, and I mean blind. So I probably should have done some things, and we're going to talk about that. So we'll start from the beginning, okay? So I decided to make some keychains. I have a launch coming up, a shop update, I should say. A shop update coming up in, I'm hoping, literally the first week of May, probably that first Saturday. So that's my plan. If anything changes, I'll announce it on social media and on Discord. I really wanted keychains for the first time ever in my shop. And I thought the perfect time to do it is when I'm introducing Nima, our new OC. For those of you who don't know who Nima is, it's my little celestial kitty. She is super adorable. She's here to inspire us, keep us motivated, keep us happy. So if you want to know more about Nima, I did do a video previously. You can find it here, where I talk more about her backstory and what she has to offer in our little journey through the galaxy. So I finally made some keychains, and as you probably saw from the thumbnail, the keychains are of Nima, and it's gonna be the artwork that I'm doing for the shop launch and my new logo. I'm so excited. I'm really glad that I finally managed to have some keychains. There are things that I do need to talk about and address though, because I don't want you to make some of the mistakes that I did. But before I get into that, I do want to show you what they look like. So this is Nima. She's super cute. Don't worry, I'm going to zoom into this. But this is how it looks next to you. In case you're wondering about the size, is like the size of my hand here next to or with the keychain on it. So that's the size that you're gonna get if you decide to order the keychain from the shop when we launch. So, but let me give you a better close-up. Let's go. So as you can see, there's some sparkles. I love my little sparkles, y'all. Love my sparkles. And the best part about these sparkles is that they have little star sparkles on them. So the holographic stars really make the keychain for me. I also added the star clip for the keychain, which, oh my goodness, I cannot believe I managed to have this design, and it's the lavender color of our shop as well. I feel like I did pretty good, right? I like it. I forgot what size I chose. I think it's about 3 inches. Okay, so let's quickly talk about manufacturers. So this is actually the first mistake that I made. I didn't really research manufacturers. I kind of went off word of mouth. So I chose Vograce as the manufacturer to make the keychains. I did not try any other manufacturers. I just kind of went with it. Blindly, like I said. So the process that I did was I had an art print already created on my iPad using Procreate, and from that art print I just removed the background and any other details that I don't want on the keychain, and then I uploaded that artwork to my drive, and that's what I submitted to Vograce. So when you're ordering on Vograce, there's an option to upload the file, and they do mention to make sure it's high resolution. So as you can see, my canvas is 3000 by 4000 pixels and 300 dpi. So that's what I use, and I feel like that helped. The artwork looks really good, even in person. It doesn't look blurry or anything like that, so I'm really happy with how the artwork turned out. Once you upload it to Vograce and you purchase, keep in mind that there is a shipping fee, which I didn't even put into account. So here I am thinking, oh, this is actually a good deal, but don't forget, like, shipping from another country is going to cost a bit of money. So I paid for shipping. I paid for 20 keychains. That's all I bought because I wanted to kind of just test the waters. I didn't want to buy a big bulk amount of keychains and find out that people don't really like them. So I didn't want like stock sitting there because I've done that in the past, okay? Which is why I rarely ever use manufacturers. I think it took, how long did it take? So I ordered the keychains February 11th and they only shipped it out March 4th, okay? So that's how long it took to finally like have it sent to me, because they have to like send it to production and do whatever they got to do. And then I think after that, it was just like, I think it was like 5 days, maybe less. I can't remember how long it took to get to me since I got that notification that it was being shipped to me. So just remember that there is like a significant time before you receive the product. To recap, I already had artwork created, and then from there, I wanted to submit the artwork to Vogtrace, the manufacturer, but I needed to remove the background. So that way, when you send the artwork, you kind of identify what's going to be a clear background and what's not. So that's why I removed like the purple background and all the little white specks that I had and my signature that was on the art print. I don't want that on the keychain. I just want the actual drawing, and that's about it. So it really depends on how you want your keychain to look. Just remember to do high resolution, at least 300 dpi. And then when you're ordering, there is an option to upload it. Don't miss it. I'm going to show you where it is on the screen. There's an option to click on upload your artwork before you purchase. I almost missed that part. So just FYI. So that's how I made the keychains, right? And then they're sent to me. And then I got them and I was so excited. And then I looked at it and I was like, wait a minute. Why are there scratches on all of these? And I went into a panic, okay? And I was like, oh my God, like, I can't believe this happened to me. My first time making keychains. So I immediately took pictures and I emailed Vogtrace and I'm like, send help. All of these have scratches on them. While I was waiting for Vogtrace to get back to me, because they didn't obviously reply to me immediately, and I'm still sitting here in a panic. The following day, I messaged a friend of mine, B. Hey, girl. I messaged B and I was like, look what happened. What am I going to do? And she's like, is there a protective film on the keychains? And I'm like thinking, no way. I did not just freak out. Email the manufacturer with pictures, and there's a protective film on the keychains. That is why I was seeing the scratch marks. Oh my God. So let me show you what it looks like with the film on, right? You can kind of see the scratch marks on there. And that's what it looked like on every single keychain. Mind you, I've only ordered 20, so I could see every single one. I inspect every single one, freaking out. And the reason why it didn't dawn on me that there's a protective film over it is because there is no way to even see where you could even peel that off. Like, it looks done, right? It looks like there's nothing left to do but mail these out to customers. And even trying to peel the film off is so difficult. I don't understand if it's just me or if anybody else has experienced this, but like, I have to scratch off the film, like literally tear it, scratching it with my nail to be able to peel it off. And that's how I was able to get the protective film off. So just so you know, when you are doing this, do not panic if you see scratch marks. And it's funny because after she told me that, I went on their website and I saw in like fine print, make sure you remove the protective film upon receipt. And I'm like, how did I miss that? You know, it would have been really nice. I have nothing bad to say about Vogtrace, okay? But it would have been really nice to have a little card that they send with instructions for people like me who are a little bit slower to realize these things. So that is my oopsie moment. I almost sent all of these back and like was gonna like work with another manufacturer because I was on a time crunch. So here's the next point regarding that. I gave myself a deadline, and the deadline was to have a summer launch. And so I ordered the keychains in February, but in reality, I really should have ordered them months ahead of time, like maybe 6 months. Because if something did happen and I needed to fix it, you already know it takes like a month to even have something in production, right? And then you receive it. So if something was wrong and I have a launch coming the first week of May, I couldn't have ordered the keychains again. Like, there wouldn't have been enough time, right? So I definitely recommend, if you're gonna have custom keychains made by a manufacturer, please start early. I say 6 months early. That way you have enough time to fix any mistakes, to work with the manufacturer, or to even order more keychains if you feel like you needed more. I think also when you give yourself that much more time, you have enough time to research manufacturers you want to work with, maybe try to get samples from them, which is something that I do wish I did, because I only went with one because a couple other small business owners used them and I saw that they really liked them, so I decided to try them myself. But I do wish I gave myself more time to try out, like shop around, you know what I mean? But at the same time, it does cost money to do that. Like, I think it costs money to get samples from manufacturers. And even if you were to just order one of your designs, just one, that costs a lot of money because shipping is expensive. If I had the money though, I would have ordered from at least 3 different manufacturers and decided which one fit my brand the best, and if I like the quality of one more than the other. Give yourself time and do more research for sure. That's something that I definitely learned from this experience. I think the great thing about Vagres though is that they sent me a digital proof and they showed me where the keyhole, or is it keyhole? That little hole placement for the key rings. They showed me where that was going to be placed. They showed me the outline of the transparent area was going to be. So it was a very easy like process, and they communicate very well. They're very friendly. So I really did like working with Vagres. I just felt like I should have definitely done some more research. That's all. Like, I should have definitely done a little bit more research. Another really helpful thing I think will help with making a decision with a manufacturer is looking at sample photos, especially those where people leave reviews and pictures of their artwork or their keychains. And that's what I did with Vagres. Luckily, there are people on there that post pictures of their finished product, and I was able to look at that and think, oh, that's pretty good. Like, I think I could go with this manufacturer. All right, so the last mistake I feel like I did was I worked in RGB instead of CMYK. So the colors on my screen look really vibrant and beautiful, and it was just perfect. But when I received the keychains, I'm not going to say it wasn't colorful, because it does look colorful to me. It just didn't like pop the way that it does on my screen. You know what I mean? So in hindsight, I guess I should have colored in CMYK, but it's hard. It's something I'm still working on because I like to color in RGB because I upload a lot of artwork online and they're not all printed and stuff like that. So I like the way that it looks. CMYK just feels very washed to me. So that's still a challenge that I'm having right now. If you guys have any tips regarding like CMYK versus RGB, you let me know how you work, because I don't like flip-flopping. I just want to work off one color profile and that is it. So, but just keep that in mind, you know, like I think the keychains, they really did turn out beautiful. I just wish it was like vibrant, and I don't know if I could have done that anyway, because they do tell you to upload in CMYK. So I guess it is what it is. I don't really know. It could be the other manufacturers print differently. Who knows? I have no idea how it works, but that's just something to keep in mind. So if you do decide to go with a manufacturer to make custom keychains, make sure you also look at their policies for refund and remakes as well. Because if you don't look into those, and then you have an oopsie moment where you feel like you probably should have added another detail to the artwork and you need it remade, and they're like, sorry, you should have read our remake policy, that you're kind of screwed. So make sure you read up on their website, do research, look at the refund policy in case you wanted a refund for any reason, because you really don't want to be stuck with something you can't sell. So to wrap it up, I'm just gonna list all the tips that I pretty much talked about in this video in case I kind of ramble, because I feel like I always do. Number one, research the manufacturer, okay? For sure. Definitely look into at least 3 manufacturers before you send your artwork. The second tip is 300 DPI for your artwork. And I also do 3000 by 4000 pixels, but you do you, however you feel like you want to work on your canvas, but at least 300 DPI when you're working on your artwork. And number 3, also these are not in order in any way. Number 3, check the manufacturer's policies for refunds and remakes, because, well, that's self-explanatory. The next tip is to see if you can work in CMYK if you want to see the results look similar to what you were working in on Procreate or whatever digital platform you're working on, because RGB is a lot more vibrant. So when you receive the product or the keychains, they might look a little bit more dull, like the colors don't really match what you're seeing. So if you work in CMYK, it'll be a lot closer to the colors that you were looking for. Next tip is to also make sure that you get proof. Like if it's a digital proof or a physical proof, regardless, make sure you get a proof, because you want to be able to review it before it's sent to production. Like you want to review the placement of things, how it's getting cut, etc. Another tip is to also keep in mind the shipping costs. There are some manufacturers that offer like a bulk discount. So if you order a certain amount, you get a bigger discount, which is great. I just had to do 20 because I could only afford 20. And lastly, plan for delays. Like seriously, try to start this process 6 months in advance. Do not start a month before you're going to do a shop update. It is not a smart move. It is not a smart move. Plan for delays, plan for issues, plan for remakes, just plan. And then the secret tip is, do not forget there might be a protective layer to peel off the keychain, because I definitely did not realize that was a thing. Okay, so that's everything, guys. I hope this helped. I hope you don't make the mistakes that I did, and I hope the tips were really helpful. I am trying to decide how I am going to mail out my keychains. I think I will probably put them in a bubble wrap and add them to a cute little bag. I'm not really sure yet how I'm going to do it. That's still something I'm figuring out. So if you have any tips about that, let me know. I have a month to figure it out. So thank you guys so much for watching. I have another video coming up soon. I'm planning on talking about some different platforms you could sell your artwork on, like Ko-fi, Etsy, Shopify. So stay tuned for that. That's coming up next, I think, hopefully, if I am able to keep myself in line. So yeah, that's happening. All right, so thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it this far, go ahead and leave a little kitty or a star in the comments, or let me know what made you smile today, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!